Hello and welcome to LockdownEconomy Nepal, a local edition of a social nonprofit initiative to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic. In Nepal, it is being done in collaboration with NYEF Kathmandu Chapter, a membership-based nonprofit organization dedicated to create outstanding entrepreneurs, and AlterContacts, a global think tank for sustainable development based in Amsterdam. My name is Sujan Lal Manandhar, host of the interview series, and I'd like to welcome everyone who joined us for this session. Today, my guest is Ashish Naulakha, who is the Managing Director of Dynavitive Private Limited. Hello, Ashish ji. How are you?
Hello, Sujanji. Hello, Sujanji. I'm all good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and welcome to the interview series. And today, we're going to talk about your organization, which is in the IT sector, and we'll talk about the reality of your organization as it was during the lockdown. But before we get into the lockdown economy discussion, Ashish ji, please introduce us to your organization.
Thank you so much, Sujanji. I would like to thank NYEF Kathmandu chapter and Alter Contacts for letting me share my journey of IT business in front of everyone. Dynavitive Private Limited is a IT company which is basically into website designing, website development, software development, mobile applications, graphic designing, social media marketing, and we have been specializing in this thing. More importantly, we have been focusing on website design and mobile applications as of now.
Perfect. And what is the size of your organization?
Uh, so uh, right now we are around three permanent employees, and we have 6 to 7 temporary employees. So the temporary employees are hired on the basis of the project. So whenever we have any project coming up, which we cannot handle from my own team, so in that case we put this freelancers on the board with us, and then they help us out with the project.
And what kind of organizations are your major clients?
Having said that, like most of our clientels, as of now, are Nepalese corporate houses. If We have like Triveni Vepar, we have ATC Private Limited, we have Rajesh Hardwares, we have Sagun Jewelers, we have Jai Mata Di Jewelers, we have Goel Group, we have Batas Group, we have IMS Group, we have different other groups uh, whom we have been associated with doing different types of their work. So most of the clientels, as of now, we have Nepalese based clientels, and few of our projects are we have clients even from Dubai and also from America.
Great. So let's talk more about your services now. What kind of softwares do you provide to your clients?
Uh, so uh, Most of our softwares are customized according to the client. So let's say we are, as I said already, that we are more into website design and mobile applications. So it all depends upon what is the client requirement, and we make the website according to the client's requirement. We do have few softwares which we have made customized to the different clientele groups of Nepal. One is a jewelry inventory management system, and the other one is customer relationship management system. So the jewelry inventory management system handles the entire from the raw form of gold till the end product. So that's how our product, that's how we have made this product. And the another product, which is CRM, that is customer relationship management software. In this case, we are handling the service part of the CRM. So if anyone, any organization, if they are providing, let's say, TV, and if they need to do a service of that TV, so we manage the entire thing on an automated process. Uh, so there is no lag, or there is no problem faced by the customer or by the organization, that there is no loophole. So that's what we are trying to do by the CRM software.
Perfect. So now let's talk about the lockdown itself. You are a more of a B2B scale organization, and the lockdown, there was a lot of restrictions. A lot of organizations were not allowed to operate. So what kind of problems did you face during the lockdown?
Uh, During the lockdown, as our work can be done from anywhere. I mean, we just need an internet connection and a laptop to work on. So remotely we never had a problem. I mean, till date also we are working remotely. We have not been calling our employees to the offices or anything. They are working from their home. But the biggest challenge what we face, or the biggest problem what we faced during the pandemic, was that most of our projects were either put on hold or they were cancelled. So the temporary employees who were there on the board with us, we stopped giving them work, and we were just focusing on giving work to our permanent employees.
All right, and we discussed this yesterday as well. Since it's a B2B organization, you have clients, and of course, these clients faced some issues during the lockdown as well. So, what kind of behavior did they show, and how did you respond to it?
Uh, Most of our clientels, as I told you yesterday also, that IT is considered a more as a liability than an asset right now in Nepal, in the context of Nepal. So here people went into a cost cutting measures. So like everyone was going on a cost cutting measures, because the economy took a nosedive. We didn't know what is going to happen next. I mean, 2 months we were shut in our home. So uh, so the main problem what we were facing during that time was the most of our projects, like which were ongoing projects, or which were about to finish, or which were on the starting phase or anything, they were cancelled or they were put on hold. So that was one of the major problem what we faced. And we didn't have anything to say to the clients. I mean, the only hope we were praying was that the things get back to normal, and again we have this projects again started from zero, or from wherever we had left the project in that case.
All right, and as you've already stated, still a lot of organizations in Nepal treat IT as a liability. So, during the lockdown, did it become more difficult to tell the audience to move to a newer system?
I mean, yeah, I mean, uh, it was because see, everyone was what we thought. I mean, in during the starting of the phase, like when the lockdown had started, March, April, we got a lot of good projects. I mean, we got a lot of good projects from abroad. We got a lot of projects from even in Nepal also, because everyone was like, okay, now IT is gonna be the next big thing, and because everyone is gonna stay at home, so let's do that. But eventually what happened is the economy never revived, and until unless the economy does not revive, it becomes very difficult for us to convince the clients to buy anything. I mean, most of the my viewers right now would be agreeing with me on this thing, is that that time we were only doing the survival of survival. I mean, like how for my own savings, how can I survive for another 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? I mean, there was no limit, or there was no cap on it. So that was one of the major thing what we were facing. And what I can still say is that it was very difficult to explain Nepalese clients that you need to focus on IT. Maybe not now, maybe in another 6 months or 1 year down the line, this will show you return. But as I said, you like everyone was on a cost cutting measures, so they didn't really wanted to spend anything on the IT front in that regard.
All right. And when you faced these issues, what kind of strategies did you put in place to solve them and stimulate your business?
So, I mean, we all try different strategies. I mean, like everyone was trying different strategies. So, one of our strategies, what we were doing, was on a cost, on cutting down on our profits. So, as I told you, like we stopped giving work to our temporary employees, and only on the permanent employees we were giving them work. We did try to cut down on the cost, but then eventually what happened is it didn't work out as much as we expected it to be. Plus, we were getting very less work, so it was very much difficult to sustain during that time.
And because of the nature of the lockdown, it was so strict. So, were there any strategies that you tried that did not work?
Yeah, so like as I told you, like most IT work is such a work where you pay your employees. If it's a permanent employees, maybe yes, you pay them on a monthly basis, but most of the IT work is always done on a per hourly basis. So your developer or your designer is going to charge you a certain amount of money fixed. So our strategy that okay fine, if we can cut down the cost, if we can cut down the profit margin, and still get a work which can make our cash flow positive. It didn't work as much as we had expected it to be, because I mean the nature of our business is such that we get a lot of to and fro work. I mean, so it's not like that you do you build something and then you're done with it. No, because most of our clients, when they start off with the project, they don't know exactly what they want to do. I mean, they would tell you like, Ashish, I want to make a website, but when we start making one, then they'll say, I want this features also, this features also, this features also. So then in that problem, what happened is we had already fixed the cost with the client. We are already
Yeah.
cut the profit margin, and it didn't work out as much as because we were paying our employees on a per hourly basis. So eventually, Dynavitive was on a negative cash flow during that point of time.
And you've actually hinted at the next question as well, which is the customer interaction. And what kind of interaction did you have with your clients during the lockdown period?
With our clients, till now, till date, we are having like Zoom calls, or we are having, normal WhatsApp call or anything right now. That's how we are in touch with our clients. And most of our like in abroad, like when we are working with America, or when we are working with Dubai, or when we are working with Australian clients, what happens is we have a proper contract laid down, where it's everything is defined, like you're going to do this work, this work, this work, and it's a contract signed by them and signed by us also. But in case of Nepal, we usually don't have a contract. In this case, what we do is everything is done through email. So we take all the confirmation, everything is through email, and that's how we move forward. Till date, we are doing it that way, because uh, I mean, this is something which is lagged by, I think, by the IT companies itself. I would not be generalizing this thing, but I can say
Mhm.
that it's something which is negative from our part, that we are not making a contract with different clients to move forward. That how we should be handling the different project, or if there is any change, then how we will be moving forward. So that is something lagged by us, and I think we need to work on that aspect.
All right. So now let's talk about your competitors as well. What kind of approach did they have towards lockdown, and how were your strategies different from them?
I mean, IT sector is such a sector which is which everyone thought like it would boom during this pandemic time, because everyone was going through digitization. Everyone was wanted to build Instagram pages, or they wanted to build Facebook pages, or they wanted to build a website where they could sell different things. Uh, uh, if we have to say, most of our competitors were also going on a cost cutting measures. I mean, there were people who were doing websites for mere 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, for which we usually charge, I mean, a very higher amount of money. So there were people who were doing that also, and there were people who didn't know, like what they should be doing. I mean, there were times when during the starting few months of the pandemic, we got a lot of good work. A lot of other IT companies started outsourcing their work to us, telling that, Ashish, if you could handle this or this work. But I mean, eventually we did take it. We did few of the work, but then over the course of time, which I told you, like it was a global pandemic. So everywhere, because of the corona thing, it was a very bad, and it was like the entire economy took a nosedive, and we didn't know what to do. So even our competitors were like shaken, that what needs to be done. One of the main strategies what everyone was doing was on a cost cutting measures. I mean, they were removing their employees, they were reducing their margin. I mean, with the same employee, they were trying to get out maximum efficiency of work. That's what was going on.
Yes, and we're still, of course, in a pandemic period. We have moved out of the lockdown. A lot of things have been eased. A lot of businesses have opened up now. So, how is your organization performing presently?
I mean, at present, we have very few projects going on. I mean, two or three projects. I mean, like, we don't have much of a projects right now. So this is just because of the pandemic, which I told you yesterday also, that even though we see a silver lining that the vaccine is out, we see a silver lining that okay, economy is coming back to normal, but the political instability is something which might have a negative impact. Uh, plus what we think right now is that for the entire economy to get back to normal, to the pre-covid days, it will take somewhere around 1.5 to 2 years to get back to normal. So I think right now what we're seeing is that okay, fine, we are getting few projects, we are getting a little bit buzz around, but I hope this buzz stays and it grows. Otherwise it'll be a big problem for the IT sector or for the entire economy itself.
Yes, as you correctly pointed out over there, a lot of things still depend on that vaccine. How effective it's going to be and how fast we can get it to all the people, right? And now let's talk about the near future again. We talked about this yesterday. How it's still a lot of things are not certain, right? Not everything is written in stone yet. So, what is the outlook for your organization for the coming 3 months?
I mean, for the coming 3 months, we have like few of the ongoing projects which we need to finish. So we are in touch with our different clients. We are telling them like, uh, I mean, you need to get back to us on the board with us, and we are convincing them in such a way that how it's going to be useful for them if they continue with the project. If they discontinue with the project again, they are going to be behind. So for the coming 3 months, what strategy we have is that we need to get back to our own old clients, we need to get back to our existing clients and finish off their work, try to get their projects back to on a speed mode, and finish off their work before we get a new clientele or anything, because as of now it's very difficult to convince people to start off something new. But if they've been already doing the projects or something, we can still convince them to streamline the project and again take it off from there.
Yes, and earlier on in this interview, you had pointed out about digitization, and there is a growing acceptance of digitization in Nepal. And I think that is the one positive thing we can take from the pandemic. So, how do you think it will be helpful for your organization for the coming future?
Sujinji, definitely, because as rightly pointed out, I mean, recently we have seen Nepal government launching Nagrik app. I mean, e-Seva completing 12 years. So, 10 years back, you never heard about Daraj, or you never heard about Amazon, or you never heard about Flipkart, or you never heard about any of these companies. So, digitization is here to stay. Right now, all the trillion-dollar companies are IT companies. Apple, Amazon, all these companies are trillion-dollar companies which are doing profoundly very well. So what I think is that digitization is here to stay. uh, People need to start taking IT or software related work as a asset rather than as a liability. That's the first thing I would like to make my viewers understand, that don't take IT as a liability on your balance sheet. Take it as an asset on your balance sheet. So because the moment you do digitization, the moment you make different changes to your work, obviously your efficiency is going to increase, your cost is going to reduce, and IT is something which is definitely going to be there for a while. And I'm very sure digitization is something which is going to be there in the long run itself.
Yes, and the world is definitely trying to move past the pandemic now, and I think digitization is going to be vital in this new world we're moving into. Ashish, this is my final question to you now. What are the three things in your business that you need help with?
uh, I've been thinking about this again and again. What are the three things I like, as a business or as an entrepreneur, we would be needing? And I think the first and the foremost thing is what we need is customers, loyal customers, again, getting back to us, people who are really enthusiastic to get back to this business and, make something make a good noise out there. Second thing, what we need is a very good political stability. And plus, we need all the stakeholders. I mean, when I'm saying stakeholders, means government, our customers, we different sectors, we different entrepreneurs, to to collaborate with each other, to create a positive socio-economic impact, so that everyone starts progressing in this thing. And I think one of the major thing which everyone requires right now is customers, because unless we don't have customers, it's very difficult to keep moving forward as in this pandemic time.
Those are some very important points you mentioned there. It is truly a time for companies and to collaborate at this time and work with each other wherever they can help each other out, and also for people to support their local businesses so that they can sustain in the market. And thank you, Ashish, for coming on this interview series and sharing your insights. Before we sign off, would you like to say anything to our audience?
Yeah, Sujanji, with through this platform, I would like to say something that right now the world is a small global village. So but if there's something happening in India or China, it will obviously have an impact on Nepal itself. If there's something happening in America, slowly it's going to have an impact on Nepal itself. So what I'm trying to say is that through this platform, through this NYEF Kathmandu chapter, which they have been doing this the interview sessions, what I want is that if we could all collaborate together. I mean, we have a lot of people from different parts of the globe. They might be having some requirement, or we might be having some requirement. If we could channelize that that positivity and get something good out of it, I think this is something which I really want to convince the entire viewers here, that we need to all collaborate together. We need to make local Nepal local companies go more be extensive. We need to hear companies like like Tata, Infosys, and something like that. Such companies name should come in Nepal also. I'm not talking only about IT sectors, but I want different other sectors also to boom here. So this is something I want to say, that we all need to collaborate with each other to create a very good positive impact in the in the economy.
Thank you, Ashish. That's a wonderful message, and I hope that this interview itself is helpful to you to accomplish all those things. And thank you again for coming on this interview series, and thank you to everyone who joined us for this session. If you have any questions for Ashish, you can find his contact in the description, or you can leave a comment in this video. I invite you to like this video, share it with your friends, and follow our page, the NYEF Kathmandu Chapter Facebook page. A recording of this video will be present in the AlterContacts YouTube channel, so please subscribe to our channel. There are playlists of videos where entrepreneurs and small business owners from different parts of the world have shared their insights. We have another interview coming this Friday, so stay tuned for that, and goodbye.